Hey
Hello.
guys, I'm Cronacher, a game designer here at ArenaNet. I work on balance and skills.
And I'm Karl McLain. I'm also a game designer here at ArenaNet, and I work on balance and skills. And today we are going to be we're going to go over some warrior stuff in PvP specifically. So, and for that, we're gonna start by covering a couple of the roles that the warrior plays. This is mostly just kind of a high-level thing. We put together some basic builds to show you today, and Roy will be going over some of those in a bit.
Yeah.
So, first of all, we're gonna talk about kind of the roles that the warrior plays in. The warrior has high health. It has really good damage if you can get to your targets, and it also has a really good amount of control to play with. So, with that in mind, we're gonna go over and Roy's gonna go over some of the builds that he's made today.
Yep. Let me put on the game real quick.
There we go.
So this first build that we're going to go over is one that you've been seeing a lot of, I'm sure. It's a typical control warrior team support type build. So in this setup, we have sword with accuracy, mace with bloodlust, mainly for the knockdown. In this build, you can also run axe offhand if you want more cleaving, like down damage to help in the team fight. I just prefer having the knockdown for more control. Run mace main hand with accuracy as well, mainly for skull crack, control, CCs, lockdown, and then shield as well for more control with paralyze.
Okay. So on that, let's actually go Q.
Okay.
So, just so we can do this, we're gonna actually join a solo queue right now. If you guys want to come join us in PvP land,
Yeah.
we're gonna keep going on.
Anyways, the build, there's a few different options, but in arms, we have 10 points taking unsuspecting foe. Basically for more crit chance while the foe is stunned. This lets you, even with Soldier's Rune, put out decent damage while you have skull crack up, like shield bash, those kind of things. In the defense line, we take Dogged March for basically less Condi's on us, regen, that sort of thing. Cleansing Ire for a lot of Condi removal since we use skull crack as our burst quite often. Here we take Last Stand, basically really good stability. It lets it so you can stay on the point without worrying about getting knocked off as much. That combined with Balanced Stance lets you stay on your target pretty well. Here we have Warrior Sprint, mainly because we don't have swiftness in this build. Take Battle Standard for group utility and res. Here we have Vigor on Stance, because we happen to be using 3 stances. Helps avoid attacks, keep uptime on targets, that sort of thing. And Burst Mastery, because we want to be using our burst finishers whenever possible.
Yeah, so we're going to use Cleansing Ire's removal effects quite a bit with using Flurry there and Skull Crack. What else is there? Yeah, so this build does not have a whole lot of swiftness to it because this is less of a boon-based build. Pretty much the only boon you're going to normally want on here is the Vigor boon for the what is the name of that stance? The 3-point in there.
Which one?
So when you use a stance, you gain Vigor. So
yeah, it also applies to Last Stand for the trait as well, which procs Balanced Stance. Then you have...
So you have a lot of endurance to play with, and you can roll around quite a bit.
Yeah, and with Soldier's Amulet, you're actually fairly tanky with this build. And it allows you to still put out good damage, and your role in a team fight is basically to help support, lock down a target so that other people can help burst. You have Battle Standard to help revive allies. Basically just move around the map, lock people down, put out decent pressure, and just stay on your target.
Well, if you want to join into let's join into a hot join.
Sure.
Oh, who are you supporting?
What?
You're supporting someone here. Who are you supporting?
Oh, I'll check in a second.
I'm an Avon supporter. Come on now. You can't be doing that to me, man. All right. This is a full game. Spectate.
Yes. Not bad.
Let's go into one with fewer players. All right. let's go. Gonna join a little bit today.
Yeah. I usually use Healing Surge to get the adrenaline up in the beginning, just so you have it.
Yeah, this is gonna be interesting.
Find a minion answer here.
And he's gonna be using his burst skills as often as he can. Now he's out of Berserker stance, and so he's gonna have to start using his actual burst skills to get to him. Ooh, he just barely missed that skull crack on him, but he's gonna be going over there and
Stunned.
his allies will assist him for the kill. But that's a nice stomp. So now he's able to get the point. They've got the advantage. He's going to use his adrenaline surge once again to gain full adrenaline before he engages into a fight. Ooh, nice glue bomb. And he's gonna pick his battles, but he's gonna generally try to pressure everybody that he can, so that he's making them use their cooldowns as much as he can.
Yeah. Basically, you want to lock down the other team or the player that you're focusing, usually probably the squishier target, and then allow your team to put out the pressure while you're locking them down.
Berserker stance is up again, so he's been using that. He's shield bashed it. Oh, just barely. Now he's invulnerable. So, but the good news is, if you get in trouble, you still have your shield stance. Although, oh, there we go. Quick, go now before they can kill you.
Run away.
Run away. That was good stuff. The Mesmer was forced to use all of his distortion. He used his blurred frenzy. He had to use all of his escapability in order to get out of Roy's line of fire, and all while being trained down by the Necromancer. So in any team scenario, he's taking out two players from their normal damaging rotations and making them actually focus on him.
Yeah, there are a few things in the meta, as I'm sure you guys know, that are holding the Warriors back a little bit. Some things like weakness application, things like that. We're definitely looking at still making tweaks to bring Warrior up slightly, but we do feel like they're in a pretty close spot.
All right, well, what are our teams today? Let's go through and check out what we got.
On my team, we have myself on Warrior, Guardian, Necro, NG.
So we got two engineers. This is a pretty strong team build right here. And on the other side, we have a Warrior, Thief, Guardian, and Necromancer. This is going to be an interesting fight, I think.
Yeah.
So Roy is probably going to try to get onto the opposing team's Guardians or Thieves, and he'll probably spend most of his time trying to lock down either a Guardian or a Thief, making the Guardians use their stability. And once he does make them use their stability, he can move off to a different target.
Yeah. With this kind of build, you really have to watch out for stability to make sure you don't dump your stuns into a target with stability. So if you see someone with stability, wait for your teammate like a Necro to purge it off them basically, or just change targets, or just hold on to your stuns until.
The good news is Roy is running also Sword main hand, so he actually has an immobilize that's a long duration. So even if they do pop stability, he still has the answer to control them. And being as a Skyhammer, he's going to have to dodge roll out. He's going to have to get out of a lot of those Skyhammers probably, depending on if they take it or not. This is a 5v5. I haven't done very many 5s on this map yet. So, looks like mid they got one of the Warriors. Oh, and he's going to be a great sword burst style warrior, it seems. And he's running a mace main hand.
Yeah.
So this guy's actually running a build I think we might be running. We might be going through next.
A similar build to what we'll be showing next.
All right, so he's got a hammer. Roy's got his stability up right now though, so he's trying to push this warrior off. And this other warrior's proved to be quite tanky. But at this point, he has used all of his utility skills, including his shield stance. So now he's going to be quite a bit more vulnerable. There we go. Skyhammer's coming in, and now the Skyhammer's gonna help us win the fight today.
Yeah. So the warrior has stability right now.
It looks like this
kinda
warrior's
waiting.
activating. It looks like he has the last stand as well.
Stunned him afterwards. Gonna shield bash him after that ends.
There we go. He's got a lot of control. Oh, it looks like he got knocked down.
Looks
So
like we will
it might be
able to
the
tap this one
case
here.
that ooh,
Close.
so close. You might want to just move off and move to the next point. I think, being as this fight is it might not resolve. Oh, here comes another one. This guy is doable.
So we're switching targets to the Necro now. Because
Oh,
he's,
Necromancer's gonna run away.
I think he's just baiting us off the side though.
No, we just need to win the. Need to get this warrior off one more time. The warrior is generally speaking not going to bunker as well as you might see an engineer or a guardian. Although this guy is doing a really good job.
Yeah,
he's got three of Roy's team here now. They might be able to get him down, but the warrior is generally it'll generally do a lot more damage as even when going into the defensive side of things. So the warrior instead of actually bunkering, it's intended to I think we want it to be more of a killing its target while at the same holding its own. Oh man,
Yeah,
I don't know.
fight is-
I don't think it's gonna resolve. Hey, the thief is here now. Get that guy.
Yeah, switching targets to the thief. Gonna skull crack him soon.
Ooh. Yeah, he moved away pretty quick.
Test subjects may experience
Uh-oh.
and death.
And death. Run away! He has full health, or full adrenaline though, so he's going to heal up quite a bit. Well,
Actually, gonna go
I
back.
wonder.
Help keep this point neutral. Oh,
That's not
this
gonna
is
help.
dodge. Trying to res my ally.
Oh yeah, you got him up. But I don't know if your team is going to get the other guys off the Skyhammer.
Gonna try and knock down both of them.
Yep, there we go. And that thief
Yeah,
is pretty
shield dash
sustainable
the
too right
thief.
now.
Yep.
He had a stability up from
Yeah, my bad.
I think it was his runes of. He might have the runes of Lissa on there. That thief is almost down.
Yeah.
Some of the styles of other styles of warrior you'll see on there are the condition damage ones, which I think are pretty interesting. Whew, you are almost dead, sir.
Yeah.
Question is, do you run away? I would.
Yeah. I think I
Uh-oh.
will. Oh, it looks like it might go down.
There you go. The Guardian got tired and they didn't want to fight with you. Another style we're seeing quite often is the condition damage warrior. You get a longbow and using your sword, and I see a lot of shields actually out there.
Yeah.
You get
sword is also really good.
you apply some condition to the guys. Let's see here. Distracting strikes. Distracting strikes is a trait, and we got a question: is distracting strikes in a good place, or can we expect to see some changes on it? This is a trait that applies confusion whenever you interrupt a foe, and it's in a place where I think that personally I think it's in a little strange place on the. I'm sorry, got a little distracted there. I think it's in a strange place on the trait lines. And I would like to see it more in like the condition damage line itself, but having access to confusion is something that the warrior, although the warrior can make use of. Although the weapons that the warrior would apply confusion on don't necessarily use condition damage. So it might be something that you need to use a sword main hand, like Roy is doing here, and a mace offhand, so you get your interrupts elsewhere and your condition damage from your main hand. You have to run through the build after this game.
Yeah, can go very quickly. This build's a little bit more.
Oh, it looks like
tanky.
you're gonna get this. Yeah, stun him again. Oh, he has no. Oh, did he block it?
Yeah.
Oh well, he's just gonna go down quick. Might want to flurry him. Oh, he just got knocked down on top of that. Oh, he didn't get
He
knocked
didn't
off.
fall off.
Maybe one more shot. No, the Skyhammer's gone elsewhere. So he's getting a lot of stuns off. And he's got one more daze.
Yeah, just waiting for stability to fall off.
Heal yourself, player. Oh, yeah, there we go. That should be the last one. No, he's got his focus block. You're gonna have to pop your stuff pretty quick. So this is a symbol guardian that he's fighting against. Oh, that was good. It looks like. Oh, just barely. He's gonna save his. Does he have the stability? Yes, he does.
Yep.
All right. That was a strong fight with the assassin finisher coming out. Heck yeah.
Yeah,
That guy's
definitely check
awesome.
out our new permanent finishers that just went in recently too. They're really cool.
Oh, you got allies. Oh.
Yeah, that tanky warrior.
Bet you wishing you had a knockback on this build, huh?
Yeah.
So alternatively, he instead of taking his berserk, actually you probably would just take berserker stance for the most part. Is there a stance you would cut out of here in order to get like kick or stomp into your build?
I consider taking off Endure Pain for the most part because it's a really Condi heavy meta because
Yeah, so the
you wouldn't really want to give up. with
condition
Berserker
damages
stance.
are going to eat through your endure pain pretty easily. So it's you can opt out of that one in order to like have more control on your utility skills. Oh, this guy's going to get killed. Yes.
Yeah, warrior's down.
However, stability is always useful. Oh. You got to heal really quick.
Yeah.
Stand still for sight.
Now they have Skyhammer.
Oh no.
3 people here.
I would just jump off.
Can try and keep the point neutral as long as possible. Gotta
You got
try
one
and
more
res-
skull crack. Oh, no, so close.
It's a pretty close game though.
You just got stomped by a deer. Let's see.
Did you want to talk about the warrior role question, or were you
We
already
talked
talking
about
about that
the
bit?
The warrior's role is less of being a bunker and more of dealing damage and helping kill the targets. So like it's got a lot of control on pretty much all the weapons, or it's got a lot of damage on their weapons. And depending on what you use, you're going to kind of define the role there. Oh, nice.
Oh.
That was a beautiful knockback.
That was awesome. That's the fun part about this map, knocking people off.
So if you're going to if you're going to go like Roy's build here is to assist in killing targets for the most part. He hasn't gone like a huge amount into damage.
Yeah, this is a pretty tanky, just support with stuns type build.
Yeah. So he's if you're noticing he's getting like 5-second stuns off on his targets. Like he's skull cracking for like 3+ seconds, and then shield bashing for another 2 seconds, and then skull crack after that, and then tremors. The mace tremor is a knockdown with a long duration stun. So he's able to keep his enemies under control in this way. Oh, that necromancer plague form.
Yeah.
What you can do with this is activate your berserker stance and pretty much
Just
DPS the
immune
necromancer
to the
down,
blind.
so you don't actually have to worry about getting blind. But berserker stance went away. Nice job. You gotta worry about that fear, I guess. Stun him. Oh, stunning the enemies when they're over the those pads is kind of funny.
In a second. Stun to
Yeah.
steal. Then he's
Where he
going
does
down.
really well right now at kind of countering the necromancers out, because they do a lot of condition damage at this point. But ooh, oh no! Oh, so good.
Gotta love that fear. Looks like they're slightly pulling ahead.
Yep.
Game's still pretty close, though. Gotta try a neutral point when I get back up. Gonna head to this far point.
Roy's gonna head over to point A and try to cap that.
Yeah, to stop them from getting points.
We do have in mind to make hammer just a little bit more usable. For example, staggering below is really hard to hit. It makes you stop, and it's kind of it's less usable than we'd like it to be, I think. And so, with that in mind, I think we would want it to be almost usable while moving. Maybe have it slow you down or something like that. There's a lot of different things we can do, but I think we would want to change staggering bow to be able to be usable while moving.
Yeah, that would help hammer a lot.
Right, he's got a skull crack going on the Guardian.
Yeah, especially with the protection uptime, it takes a while to down the Guardian.
Yeah, are you running Destruction Minion powered? I don't remember.
Yes. Or not in this build.
Oh yeah,
the
not in this
other
build.
one will show.
We should have started with the other build.
Yeah. A little bit more exciting with the
Yeah.
damage.
Uh-oh. This is no good. Run away.
Yeah. Two
That
people
Sky
came
Hammer.
in and the Sky Hammer.
Just goes to show you needed help. They needed help from the Sky Hammer.
The enemy has point A.
Let's see.
And the question about making banners similar to Ranger Spirits, we are looking always at improving banners and making them functionally better, but we don't have any set plans right now. But we would like to get banners in a better place. I'm going to go over to our home point because it looks like it needs help. We control B right now.
Well, the map is going to end pretty soon, one way or the other. Only got a minute and a half left on these. I've never actually seen a map timeout on this one. Usually there's enough people to get knocked off the point to end a match pretty quick. Uh-oh.
Just trying to survive, keep this neutral for a bit.
Oh, there's a chance you guys could still win. If only. It's so close. It's a question. Hey Roy, are you and other devs doing more of this type of video, like for other classes?
We definitely plan on doing more live streams to discuss like
GG.
other classes, show builds, that sort of thing, show them in PvP, maybe show you guys builds you're not familiar with or haven't played before to open up more options, just show what's possible with each profession.
We didn't fight that thief nearly as much as I wanted to.
There's definitely a
wanted
lot
to fight him.
of different live streams though, showing off other content, but we'll try and get on here.
Yeah, we'll
when we
try it.
can.
I would like to do more, like kind of every so often, like come on and like kind of go through each profession as we can. I'd like to do all 8 of them, and then do all 8 of them again as more builds become available or are discovered. So let's go over to, I'll do camera only for a second there. We're gonna go jump onto the next warrior that Roy has prepared for today.
Yeah, this one's going to be more like what you see a lot of warriors, especially in Europe, running. It's the Mace Shield Greatsword build, basically heavy burst. Basically, you try and roam around, find like a weak target, pick them out in a fight, burst them down quickly to turn the fight in your team's favor.
We're going into the heart of the mists again.
Yeah,
We're not going to do another solo queue today. I think we'll probably jump into a hot join, or maybe just let Roy explain the build first.
Sure. Real quick, this one question, how would you go about making tweaks to Warrior that make them stronger in PvP, but not make them even more overpowered in PvE? We are looking at like ways to accomplish that, basically. One of the big ways right now is like weakness is really prevalent in a bunch of skills, mainly AoE skills, and that shuts down the warrior pretty heavily. So we're looking at doing a pass, toning down some of the weakness skills, which would in turn help warriors without making them stronger in PvE, basically.
Yeah, you see a lot of professions with like AoE weakness at like huge ranges, and the warrior has its own weakness, and we like the amount of the weakness that the warrior has is pretty good, and if he can get to his target, he can help shut their damage down by simply using weakness skills, but.
So
yeah,
in this build, go through it real quick.
Sorry.
I'm using Healing Sig just because it's a lot of passive heal uptime combined with regen and some other traits. Bull's Charge as a gap closer and knockdown, really useful, especially with 100 Blades.
Mm-hmm.
Frenzy, so you can do the Bull's Charge basically, Frenzy 100 Blades, and you can finish the 100 Blades basically by the time the knockdown's over. Berserker Stance, mainly because it's a super heavy Condi meta, helps a lot. Survive, get in there, like avoid blinds, that sort of thing, and using Signet of Rage for swiftness, fury, that sort of thing. You can also use Battle Standard as well, like the other builds, if you want to get a little more team supporty. For traits, we have just basically remove crippled, chill, immobilize, and weakness when you use a heal. Great sword damage for more spike. Here in arms, we have 50% crit chance against stunned foes. This works really well with this build because you'll go into things like Skullcrack into 100 Blades, so they'll be stuck in a 3-second stun, and you'll have 50% more crit against that target for those burst windows. Here we have Dogged March, basically less mobility reducing conditions along with some regen. And here, Cleansing Ire, more condition removal. Here, take Warrior Sprint just for more mobility and Destruction of Empowered, more damage against targets that have more boons on them.
So against guys that are harder to take on. You want to go back to the traits real quick?
Yeah.
You'll notice that he has both in the strength tier, the adept tier, you've got Restorative Strength along with Dogged March. And these may seem a little bit like they overlap a little bit. Like Dogged March would remove the immobilize or the crippled or the chilled before he would have a chance to use his heal skill. But there are occasions where you run into like a really long cripple or a really long chill or something that's you just need to get off right there. And you might not be low on health, but at the same time the heal signet's got a pretty fast recharge, and so you can activate it to remove all those
20 seconds base
conditions.
But you do generally, with this kind of build, want to leave the passive going for the regen.
It's like emergency situation, get me out of here, or I need to get onto that guy right now.
Anyways, I'll hop into a hot join match real quick since we don't have that much longer.
Shout out to server 141. And join random.
Yeah.
All right. So do you start off with a greatsword usually, or?
It kind of depends. Usually greatsword for mobility. But
I got you. So using rush and whirling whirlwind attack.
Yeah.
But then when you start a fight, you really want to have that shield and that mace out right away.
Yeah, you basically want to build your adrenaline up so you can Skullcrack into 100 Blades.
You think you can build it up on those little destructibles? It works.
Yeah.
Anyways, he's not using Adrenaline Surge. Like Roy does, I've seen him run Adrenaline Surge quite a bit with this build as well.
Yeah, Adrenaline Surge is very good. I mean, it's a pretty huge heal. I'm going to head over to the clock tower so I can find some people.
Burst that guy down. Or burst those guys down. Oh no! All three of them. You should go for the next. Go find another fight. I think there's somebody fighting on Mention right now. You could probably go get that one.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, two of them. Looks like you got a ranger over there. No, that's a Oh no! That was a lot of damage right there. So he found the entire team, and as you'll notice,
apparently they were waiting for me.
He's not all that survivable in against those types of scenarios.
Yeah, this build is pretty squishy using a Berserker amulet with Valkyrie Jewel. It's more like small fights, like you want to roam around, like find someone out of place and take them out really quickly.
So you're saying you can't really fight against 4 players that much?
Yeah, not that good. I'm
Okay.
sorry, guys.
What would you recommend for new players in terms of like build for the warrior?
It really depends on your play style. Like the first build I was showing has a lot of control, that sort of thing. I'm gonna try and find some people.
Yeah.
This build is more around burst damage. Like warrior's really good at finding a target, bursting them down like
you go.
really quick.
Yeah. All right. And then you can go on the next one really quick.
Let
Be
teammates
frenzied.
finish them off.
Yeah.
Yeah, it really depends what you want to do. Bunker builds are okay on warrior, as not as optimal as other builds.
Yeah. I like to get damage into my warrior build, regardless of where I'm going with it, because like I feel like for me if I'm not dealing damage, I'm having a little bit more of a problem. And he doesn't have like those complete, his invulnerabilities and stuff like that don't last as long as like the Guardian can use his renewed focus, and then he has his focus blocks that he can do while he's using abilities, and so it feels better for me to use more damage-oriented abilities. My personal build on this one, I've been rolling around with the axe, shield, and rifle build for and just using adrenaline as much as I can. It's one of my favorite actual warrior builds to play with. Usually those kill shots can get up to like 10,000 damage.
Yeah, you can get some
Awesome.
crazy damage. I know Chap's been running a Condi warrior build that's actually been pretty decent.
Do you think you can get that guy?
Maybe. I do not have a guy mobilized.
Yeah, that was no good. Oh, he went misform. So now he's not going to have any defense. Oh, but they got a lot of people there.
That was a bad call. Trying to
Yeah.
get out really quick.
Oh, needed 1 more second for that rush. Elefayette says, "Do you guys feel that we're up to where you want them to be yet in terms of being able to sustain in fights? Do you think that you'll ever give them access to protection to help with that? Warriors have a very high health pool, and yes, protection would help every profession, but in terms of maintaining your the sense of what a warrior is, it's not a very boon-oriented profession, and it attains a lot of its damage reduction through blocks or crowd controls or simple health regeneration. And it's got a lot of adrenaline surge is one of the highest heals in the game now, and it's very accessible.
Yeah. Our goal is probably not to have protection on them, but more give them passive defensive that boosts them in other unique ways.
Yeah.
That are different from the Guardian or something who's more revolved around boons. And
Yeah, we'd like to
defense.
kind of split those guys apart and say that the Guardian has much more protection, and the Warrior does not have will need to seek protection from outside sources. But once he gets it, he's awesome.
We're definitely looking at tweaks though, because we do feel warriors are still slightly weak in some areas, but that can also be achieved through bringing other classes down slightly. We're trying to make just subtle tweaks at this point without anything too drastic, because we feel like there's a decent amount of diversity right now, and just some things are a little bit too strong or some things are a little bit too weak.
Well, I think that's probably going to wrap us up for